Greetings, gamers! Welcome to part number 58 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 4, Genealogy of the Holy War, and last time I was making some movements with Patty and friends. I actually think it would have been better had I just sent her through the road. This might be a little bit of a miscalculation on my part. I'm not really concerned about it per se, but it still could be kind of annoying. The rest of my units need to be moved relative to where I am capable of attacking and combating. So Arthur... It's actually kind of funny because I'm not bringing any healers this way, and it's not really that great if I'm being honest. Arthur needs healing like nobody's business. I think there would be a way for me to heal him this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It would only be possible if I moved him back far enough and I danced for Lana. This is kind of a waste of a turn, honestly. Man, this is not going well, in my humble opinion. It's not as though it's, like, terrible. I could technically bring Nana. Nana and Leaf don't need to be, like, within range of one another to be useful. The problem is I'm going to have to move her here and still dance for her before anybody else. So I guess the other units are just not getting danced for this chapter, or this turn, not chapter per se. Cappadocia will be defeated. Hannibal has to be kept alive. This is kind of a tricky part of this chapter, and Hannibal is supposed to basically follow after the way that you deal with these particular hard to recruit generals kind of in the series. Sleep edges. Now that would be kind of humorous if they were to hit. I would actually have to reset. Yeah, Johan is still not at the sleep. Yeah, that's gonna be a reset. Alright, Seliph, I think you are a better candidate for defeating this particular unit. Hopefully, I can put Johan next to you. Yeah, I can. And I should be able to attack and KO. Oifi could technically jump over here to do enough damage. Now, if he crits, this wouldn't be great, because Oifi doesn't need the KOs on his weaponry. But Johan does. Part of the big reason why Johan is even useful in this gen is because I do give him a crit weapon. Crit brave weapon, to be exact. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Once it gets to a much higher amount of crit, and granted, not everything in this gen that I have right now is going to get to like 80 plus crit, but once it gets to a much higher amount, it's actually pretty darn good, all things considered. Alright. I don't think Ares is... Yeah, Ares is still not paired. What an abysmal shame. So, I'm going to have to dance with you and get these two moving yet again. Faval, like I said, I have a plan for Faval, which is actually kind of interesting because you would think at this point in the game, when I've already made it very clear, abundantly clear, that I'm not a big fan of the whole Archer dilemma, especially in FE4, that he would have no purpose for me, but there is actually a purpose for him. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not like this is a great thing. He's not like some grandiose unit, and this isn't some amazing, incredible strategy. But it is something that I can use him for. Alright. I love. See, Arthur once set up is just such an amazing unit. Such an amazing unit. And what's crazy about it is, too, is that he doesn't necessarily have to get a Forseti in this generation to be good, right? There are other ways to make sure that he stays good and relevant. Even with, like, Azel and Teal2 as the pairings. But he is definitely made better. I think if she goes, relatively speaking, I think if she goes here, I think only 2 can attack her. Yeah, I think that would be fine. I'm going to try it at the very least. But yeah, you can make Arthur a really good unit because Mage Knights are still very good being mounted magic dealing units, you know, magic damage dealing units that really, you know, if you have the right kind of tomes, you can still make great use out of him. But let me tell you, and I have to be very honest here, to discount the power of getting Forseti so early in Gen 2, as well as on a unit that eventually becomes mounted, there's so many people who are like, well, it's Ced's namesake, and, you know, Ced has to have it. Whoa, Ced's not good without it. I actually disagree. Ced is still very good at his job without it. But the problem is his job is very limited with or without it. The only thing I can think of that's relatively useful that Ced can do, and I really do hate being this way about Ced, but I have to throw it out there. The only thing that I can think of that is relatively useful for him to do is to... Alright, I just have to be careful about positioning here. Is for him to... Save right here. Is for him to defend, like, the home castle. See, now this is actually a really big problem. Yeah, Lana is in the way of all of these units, and so is Julia. I don't know if Altena will attack. So the only thing I can do here is I could KO. I don't know if Leaf will reach, as in being able to go right here and talk to Altena. Is this mountain or peak? It's peak. He can't do it. So this is actually kind of a little bit of a tricky scenario here. I think I put her too far out. The only thing I can do, and this is the only thing I can do, is I can put Julia up on the castle to guard. Or put Leaf on the castle to guard. I'm really just not sure, because I actually think Leaf just dies to Altena. Altena has got a 62 attack J-Bolg. She doesn't have any increase in speed, and she is going to have only 3 attack speed, but that means she still has a 23% chance to Adept. She also is going to have a 27% chance to crit. So if she were to attack Leaf, it's actually not unreasonable for him to just die here. I'm not sure how I want to take this, because I would much prefer Julia to get the KOs here on these particular units. Lana is so... This is not good. I'm just going to throw it out there. This is really not good. Lana is so out of the way here. And I think what's going to happen is that even if I move her max distance... So max distance means that she'll still be attacked by 2. I guess that's fine. There's really nothing else I can do here. Especially if I'm going to try to give Julia some of these KOs. So what I could do is warp Julia to the home castle. That's going to seem a little bit convoluted. HP, res. I mean, the res is appreciated. I'm going to equip that and guard. This could end up being like a reset entirely. And I just have to have Julia out of the way. Of the rest of the units. So a good portion of them will still be able to attack her, but some of them are just going to go after Lana. This might actually, like I said, it might just end up being a bust. Kanats decided not to attack, which is very strange to say the absolute least. So I'm going to be able to move here. I want Seliph to move here, and then I'm going to position everybody else who's going to go with Seliph, which is important to note. I think that's just going to be Dermot. And yeah, Dermot is paired. That's wonderful. Maybe Nana, just because of the fact that I need healing. So Arthur, Dermot, Nana, and Seliph are probably going to be my linchpin team here.
My lord, Hannibal is depending on me to defend this castle. If you wish to claim it, you must first claim my life.
I don't think that's going to be at all difficult, especially for Dermot. Now, of course, he could have procced Pavis, and that would have been annoying.
General Hannibal, forgive me, my liege.
So, in my humble opinion, I think it's very important to make sure that you take him out. Arthur's actually in the exact same distance he would be if he were to just move down one, so I can actually add another unit to this little crew here. And I'm going to be doing just that. The rest of them are going to be coming this way as well, so it doesn't really matter. Oifi is going to probably defend this castle. You do need to defend all of the castles at a certain point, so I think I'm going to leave Oifi behind. Now, the reason why Faval is here is he's actually going to be a distraction for Hannibal when Hannibal does wake up, which is happening very soon here. And the rest of these units can be moved. So that's really what I did with Faval. Faval is actually going to go right here instead, and he's just going to be basically sitting there taking hits from Hannibal until I get back with Seliph and am capable of talking with him, with the unit that has to recruit him, and as well, then I will seize the castle. Alright, Fee, it is time for you to keep on moving forward. Make sure her Brave Lance is equipped, and Patty is the last unit I need to move. Yeah, Sed could technically help with this little scenario here, especially because I don't necessarily want all of the KOs to go to Leaf, which is, he's going to get over half these KOs here. It's actually going to be very unprofitable for Julia, which is unfortunate to say the absolute least, but if she gets a little bit of experience points, it'll be good. I kind of wish I had not decided to equip a ranged weapon with Leaf, just because it would be better if she was the one who was getting these points here, but just not entirely sure. This is really going to hinge upon whether or not she is capable of one-rounding Leaf. And if she does one-round Leaf, I'm just going to have to restart regardless. So Cappadocia phase is capped off with a whole lot of nothing, because the only one who is left of that whole entire army is Hannibal. That army is actually not that weak. Even in comparison to how strong your units are by this point, I think that army is pretty darn powerful. The problem is that you still have to contend with the fact that even if they do have brave weapons and sleep edges and this, that, and the other, they still have to contend with the fact that your units are just far and away better. Alright, so Julia is being attacked instead of Leaf. This is so nice. Would have been way nicer if she actually got the KO there. Yeah, this is just the unfortunate reality of poor positioning. It's kind of funny because I've actually never been a fan of the theme of the Thracia Draco Knights. I think it's abysmally I want to say unwelcome. It doesn't show it. I guess what Kaga was trying to portray with it is like some kind of cunning behind the theme, which is why it sounds undercut. But it's still just, it doesn't sound as foreboding as it needs to be.
You're Leonster's prince, are you? How dare you try to steal our land?
Please, stay your hand. You're my...
Silence. Spare me your ravings.
Alright. Okay, so... looks like everything is, by and large, pretty fine. At least for now. If I can't talk to her from this position, then it's super doomed. So, gonna be finding that out in a moment here. Okay, so I can talk. That's perfect. Wait! Please, my sister, stop it!
Your sister? Who are you? And why do you think calling me your sister is a good idea?
I am Leaf of House Leonster.
Leaf? Oh, I see. The famous Prince Leaf, is it? In case it wasn't obvious, and evidently it wasn't, I am Altena, daughter of Travant.
Listen to me, Altena. Your true parents are Quan and Ethlin, whom Travant slew 17 years ago. You vanished in Travant's attack, and so too did Jaybolg, the sacred earth lance of Leonster. Which, I might add, is the very lance resting in your hand as we speak. Only a true heir of House Leonster can wield Jaybolg.
What are you talking about? Are you seriously trying to claim my real father as my father's arch-enemy? That could never be. It mustn't.
Look into my eyes. If anything can prove the truth of my words to you, it will be my eyes. Please, sister.
Fine. What is this? I know you're lying, but I can't bring myself to doubt you anymore.
Altena!
Wait, I must speak with Father. I need to confirm this.
Then she flies the long flight down to good old Castle Thracia. Altena? Oh, you have got to be joking. Why did you abandon your post for the second time in as many days?
My apologies, Father, but I have an urgent question to ask of you. Are you my father? Or was my father really King Quan?
I see you found out at last. Well, I suppose it was only a matter of time before this day came. It's true, Quan did indeed sire you. But what difference does that make now? It doesn't change that it is I who raised you.
So you murdered my parents, Father?
I suppose I did. Quan and Ethlin died at my hand. Do you take issue with that? War is hell, Altena. War claims lives. Warring now won't change a thing.
God, how dare you? How dare you mislead me all these years, Father? No, Travant.
That's enough, Altena.
Get out of my way, Ariane. This man dies here and now, and nobody can stop me, not even you.
I cannot allow this. If you dare to turn on Father, then you'll have to contend with me first.
Wait, I can't fight you, Ariane. I could never.
It's too late for you to stand down now. Farewell, Altena.
Ariane.
You didn't just kill her, did you, Ariane? You know, you don't need to go quite so far. No matter. I'm going to join the fray, Ariane. I suppose there's little choice now. You're in charge of defending the castle. Understood, Father. I'll entrust this spear to you, and with it the future of Thracia. Hold on a moment, Father. This is Gungnir. What is the meaning of this? How do you intend to fight without it? Unless... Father, you can't be. I am. Frankly, Ariane, I've had enough. Thracia is yours to do with as you see fit, but we don't need to be hated by their kind.
Are you seriously suggesting I should seek a truce, Father? No, never. To comply with the rebels now would be unthinkable. As I said, Thracia is yours. Do as you see fit. All I ask is for you to find a way to liberate Thracia's people from their suffering. Farewell, Arion. Father. Yeah, so this is one of those moments where the game tries to portray Arion as like a good guy, and unfortunately, and I do have to say unfortunately, you're not fooling me with the whole bit that he is just suddenly a changed man and a good guy now. It's just not happening. Oh, these guys have sleep edges. Very interesting. This means I should double here, right? Perfect. So if I KO one more unit, I'll be able to put Lana back inside the castle, which is perfectly fine. It's actually what I want to do. Necessarily, I would much rather, like I said before, just give all these KOs to Julia. And hopefully they do decide to go after her continually from this point forward, because there won't be any weaklings out here like good old Lana. Staff, Physic. I think I will heal you up. Because this is a cool thing. Even a footlock unit on the castle still gets Canto, which is strange, but also kind of necessary if you really think about it. Because if the units in question didn't get something like Canto or akin to it, you would have these very serious issues of units not being able to enter into the castle because of those kinds of like circumstances. How are you hitting with a 36 hit? Somebody please enlighten me. I would love to just know. I'm probably going to have to reset just because of that, honestly. Ignorant. Alright. So she can only move here. The rest of these units can just fly on by, I suppose. So it is actually very possible to use the rescue staff at this point. And in my humble opinion, I think it's a worthwhile thing to obtain. For the second generation, but I also am not sure that giving Ideen a pairing of either Claude... I really need good old Leaf. Giving Ideen a pairing of Claude or any such what I would call less than optimal pairing like Claude or Azel just for rescue staff is not necessarily what I would call something on the top of my list to do. That's for sure. And it just has to do with the fact that Ideen is better paired with a physical unit than a magical one because she gives birth to Lana and Lester. Lana's magic really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but Lester's strength absolutely does. And he has no magical weapons to speak of, so this isn't like a situation where you can have Dermot being as good as he is with, you know, a magical weapon. That's only possible because I wonder where he's gonna go. If he goes to the castle, that could be a kind of a problem. But like I said, you kind of really...
King Travant has joined the battle, has he? I suppose I've no choice. My duty as a warrior demands it. Move in on the invaders. We'll let them proceed no further.
It's just not my humble opinion an efficient way to use your characters. Granted, like I've said before, what's cool about this game is that there are many different ways to play it. I really think this is going to have to be a reset. Fee is going to die. She has no way of healing over here, unfortunately.
So the only thing I could do is maybe fly her out of the way of the other unit to make sure that doesn't happen, but I mean, it's not, there is no guarantees here. But yeah, Lester needs a father that's going to give him some good combative stats on the physical side, at least somewhat decently, because Madeira is not exactly like the best when it comes to growth rates or stats. The reason why I choose Madeira is because he's just better all around. It's better to use a unit that's good in the first generation, even if it's suboptimal to have that pairing, because the best pairing for Ideen is definitely Jamka. And the reason why is because he offers the most skills as well as the fact that he's a bow unit. That's just the arguably best pairing for her. However, the best unit to use is definitely not Jamka. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these guys all have sleep edges, or at least some of them do. And I don't think any of them have a possibility of putting her to sleep just because of how much resistance she has. Or at least it's a very low percentage chance. It's not like it's impossible, because I think you have to have exactly 30 res to be totally immune. And let me tell you, it would be actually kind of devastating if I were to get slept here. Alright, Travant's crew is joining the fray. Hannibal should be awake now, so I can see his movement range. That's going to be fine, I suppose. Yeah, like I said, Fee is kind of in danger here. She needs to crit. Perfect. And then I'm going to fly her as far out of the way as I possibly can. This is very, very much a deleterious situation, and I'm not too happy with it. Luckily, I am actually going to be able to KO and mend. I'm going to be able to KO and seize Luthesia this particular turn, which is very nice. Dermot. Ooh. Sibling crit. Very nice.
The rebels are already here. Blast! We aren't ready for this.
No, you are definitely not. Alright, so I did proc Adept. A sibling crit just means that during this attack, he's going to get the sibling crit at some point. And Disler is gone.
King Travant, I beg your forgiveness.
In my humble opinion, I actually think Dermot is one of the most important characters I need to level up right now, because he really needs more. Alright, these guys, hopefully they all just go after her. He really needs more magic, and everybody else is pretty much at the point where you don't really need to level anymore. Once your units all promote, it's just gravy beyond that point, especially because most units get some pretty absolutely insane bonuses to statistics. I am supposing... See, what I would really like to do is... I would love to send Ced to one of these castles to defend. Maybe potentially Luthesia. But it's going to have to wait a turn. Because I have to seize first. Alright, what I can do is I can just move out. I'll move right next to said. And I will wait, because I do absolutely need Leaf to move out as quickly as possible for my strategies. And it is time to seize. It looks like they've been holding a child in the dungeon, Seliph. Who are you? What's the matter?
I'm Carefree. I'm General Hannibal's son, and wait! Aren't you Lord Seliph, the Liberator?
Indeed I am. If I may ask, Carefree, why would Thracia imprison one of their own general's sons?
King Travant took me hostage. Papa didn't want to fight your army at all, sir. The king threatened my life to force Papa to fight. Please, sir, please take me to Papa. If Papa knows I'm safe, then he won't have to keep fighting. Please, we've got to go save him.
I see. Don't worry. I promise we'll find him. Move out. Everyone. I pray we'll still be in time to save General Hannibal. That would be the hope, wouldn't it? Luthesia is seized. Fortify. Immediate and instant experience points with Carefree, who is unfortunately not that good of a unit. So dealing with Luthesia has made it so that all of these units over here are gone, defeated for good. I'm kind of both happy and not happy about this. I have to do this as fast as possible, so there was no like waiting for that so that she could get the KOs and stuff. There was just no way I could do that because it was either move now or, you know, have issues. Finn will probably be he who guards this castle. I'm not sure. Well, no. I think I'll just have Lana, Oifi, Shannon, Ares. And Lean can move. Yeah, I'll just have Sed guard this castle, because I'm going to be warping him to this castle next particular turn. And move you. And that will be it. Cappadocia Castle. Oh, he's going back for the castle. That's not at all any good. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to get reinforcements, and if he gets those reinforcements, I don't have enough units over there to possibly deal with them at all. But luckily, Julia should be perfectly fine to get all this experience points. She's going to be the unit I use to guard the home castle. You want nothing but 1-2 range units guarding the castles in this chapter. Both Luthesia, Cappadocia, and... Oh! Seliph, the enemy's got our base castle. Sorry, but we've got no hope of victory now. What? Oh my! I thought I wasn't paying attention to his distance. I'm gonna have to redo that. But unfortunately, this is going to have to be the end of this episode because time has drawn on. I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, even when I do happen to have a game over and fail at the game that I played so very often, if you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe, depending on your platform of choice. Leave a comment down below, and while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.